2, 1. Welcome to the 225 podcast with your host, Noah Ray, Andrew Cargill, and me, Matthew Avazadi.
We have no plan for this episode. We completely are just winging it, so we'll see where this takes us.
You're not supposed to have people on your way.
No, we can.
That's
have
gonna
a
make it
plan.
that much better.
Yeah, I think
I
it's gonna
cannot
make it
wait.
better.
We have a plan.
This is probably gonna be my favorite episode.
Whoa.
Okay, well,
Let's just
I
go.
woke up with a headache.
Oh well, guess what's gonna help?
Caffeine.
Drew has so much
as per
energy
usual.
today.
Yeah, but he rolled out of bed and was ready to go. Anywho, so I chose the energy drink again this week, my choice. So I went to Quick Trip, was not planning on getting a drink, saw this, had to snag it, looked pretty intriguing.
Cool.
The flavor, cherry lime once again. I feel like this is a battle of the cherry limes. This may be terrible, but it may be really
I
good.
have a Trop Mango Ghost in there, so if I need to pull it out,
Those are terrible.
they're good.
All right, so yeah, here, Matthew.
I'm not closing my eyes. I gotta go.
All right, Drew.
What?
Okay.
All right, let me explain it.
Should I look?
No. What's called
Zions?
Zions.
What is this?
It was at Quick Trip. Zions
20
cherry lime.
calories, really?
Oh, don't even.
Dude, you suck.
Okay, first thing for a no-name brand,
It looks nice.
the
Like,
can is not a print on.
yeah, it looked nice. Like I wouldn't have bought it if I thought it was
It
gonna
has
be bad.
L-theanine.
Yeah.
To help
All right.
support energy and
All right,
focus.
let's try.
3, 2, 1.
I'm slacking.
Oh wow.
One sip.
Whoa.
I'm getting a lot of lime on that first smell. That is the same as Ghost.
That's really good. I think it does have a little more lime, and I complained last time how the cherry lime Ghost had a little too much cherry.
Okay, hold up.
That's really
If
good.
this had Ghost carbonation, this would be the perfect energy drink. The carbonation is what's lacking for me, but if this had Ghost carbonation,
I would definitely drink this again. That's really
that's
good.
insane.
So is that a See?
How much caffeine is
I'll be honest.
Actually, it's only 160. It's also a lower
That's not
caffeine.
that- wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a casual sipper.
All right, we got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And we
gonna
got a
be
big
honest,
can.
Isn't my favorite.
Okay.
This isn't.
But is it for a brand you've never heard of before? It's
Never heard
pretty
of.
good.
It turned out better than I thought.
It must.
It's
It must.
just the carbonation.
$20
again
for a
to me, I think.
12-pack.
So
not
$2.
bad.
That's good.
Yeah, like
Jeez,
two
man's
and some
already
change.
planning on getting a 24.
See that they were cheap too. I think it was 2 for $4 at Quick Trip.
Yeah.
They were cheap for the price, and also I drink rain sometimes, and I get twinky at work. Like I get like
Oh.
jittery.
Yeah, not
Child.
me.
Being
It's
affected by caffeine
too
situation.
much. Ghost's not as much, but 160. I think that's a perfect line.
160 to 180 is like,
That's
okay.
perfect. I can drink 2 of these and be fine.
Yeah, like
They've got a
400, I'm gonna be
Frostberry.
chilling.
They
Strawberry.
had a lot of different flavors.
Oh, interrupt me. Frostberry,
And they
strawberry lemonade, cherry lime, mango guava, fruit punch, blueberry pomegranate, grape, and Fuji apple. I'd like to try Fuji apple.
Fuji.
was the last one I would want to try, but
It's the first.
they can go buy one.
No.
That's valid.
Yeah, valid energy drink for sure.
The scores.
Oh yeah, scores.
We go 8-7. It could be a little higher if there was a little more.
high
The
rate.
flavors are a little synthetic, and I wish there was a little more carbonation. Has potential. I think I'm gonna go 8-6. I think 8-6 is a solid score.
I was gonna go with 8-3.
Yeah.
I think my thing with it is the flavors are like melting on my tongue,
Yeah.
but the carbonation is a little bit. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting soda gun from a bar in like the beach. Carbonation.
Yeah.
Is that a good
That's
Sitting
not a
down a
good
little
thing.
bit.
Yeah.
It's not that carbonated.
It's like I feel like with like Ghost or like LaCroix, you can like see you can like not
LaCroix, I feel like I'm just gonna start floating.
for like
start
the
floating.
bubbles. I feel like my brain starts to like visualize bubbles on the energy drink, and like this is really weird. I'm a visual person. These are very small bubbles. Something like
You're a
Ghost is
visual
more
person. Name everything you've ever seen.
you. If anyone got our knock on wood joke from last episode, let us know.
That was terrible.
That was so good. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.3. This is solid.
That's a
drink.
solid
The
drink.
flavor carries it.
Yeah,
The-
flavor's pretty good.
The carbonation limits it.
That's fair.
I'll be honest, I'm not that big a fan.
Okay.
I mean, so don't think the biggest reason
All right,
is
so next podcast is going to be me, Matthew. I'm just kidding.
I forgot what we're
Did you
in.
hear
I'm in a
something?
podcast with some racists.
Oh, and so Matthew, how was your day in training?
It was pretty
I'm just kidding.
racist. What?
What? All right. Say it. I ate a bagel from Panera this morning, and Drew said it wasn't a bagel.
It's not a bagel. If there's not a hole in it, it's not a
There is
bagel.
a hole.
Was there?
Yes.
Are you lying?
It's a bagel.
No, because Edie keeps complaining. It's a bagel. It's a roll. Okay, if it's a bun, it's
If I
not
go
a
into
bagel.
Panera and ask for a roll, they're gonna look at me like I'm an idiot.
No, they aren't. They're gonna be like, okay, you want this cheddar cheese biscuit roll?
I had
Okay,
a cinnamon one.
a cinnamon. Say it again.
Super cinnamon.
Say it again.
Cinnamon.
Okay.
What?
Thought you were saying it wrong for a minute.
No. I know how to pronounce words.
Okay. Well,
Unlike
pronounce
you did
bagel
in-
because that's
in
not a bagel.
Bananagrams a few days ago.
Bananagrams. I won bananagrams.
I did too.
I was doing it. No, you did not win one round.
Yes, I did.
No,
Yes,
you
I did. I took
didn't.
a picture of it. Because I was excited.
Pictures.
So,
What is happening right now?
Okay, my rating of the XYIENCE Cherry Lime, back to what I was gonna say, is it tastes like just a tunnel of sugar going down my mouth and synthetic. So I'm giving this like a 5.7. This is not, I would not grab this again. It's not bad, but I can tell I would grab just about anything else.
Okay. Fair. I have a bench PR today. And
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Wait, is it today?
Yeah.
Oh.
In
Well,
a
when
few
is that
hours.
happening?
What?
Noise.
What the heck did you get?
Link the notification.
Oh, okay. Well, guys,
I
this was
thought it was
only
your
a
OnlyFans.
temporary podcast.
Anywho. I have a bench PR today. It's a single at an 8.5, and I think with how bench is moving, it should match my PR. I think we go for like 407. But the thing is when it hit 407 for the first time, it moved like it was nothing. So like,
Yeah,
do you remember that?
I do.
That was
We
crazy.
went
and then
from 407 to 418.
completely just
I feel like
wasn't
you
there.
need to hit like 413 first.
We'll see.
Maybe 430.
Get the chip plates.
They get 410.
408.
Maybe I want 410.
Okay.
Isn't it 407
But-
point something though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I have a bench PR today, so I'm excited for that. We'll let you know next podcast how that goes. If I'm not here, that means I didn't hit it. Or fell on me or something. So, yeah, I haven't even trained since last. Actually, did I train?
This week?
You trained on Tuesday.
No.
Didn't you train
Oh,
like
yeah, I
yesterday?
hit 606 for 2. I don't
You
know if
also
I pulled
trained
it.
yesterday.
No, I didn't. Rest of you.
Are you gaslighting me?
I have a topic.
I probably-
I just came up with one.
Okay, well, I'm talking about weekend training.
I'm just letting you guys know.
So I hit 606 for a double on Tuesday after the podcast. It moved really well. Excited for that. So yeah, hoping for like 407 on bench today. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe a little higher.
Okay.
I ate a bunch of food last night in preparation, so
Oh,
I'm
so we
carved
got
up.
that extra bloat.
I'm
on
carved
the...
up. You're damn right.
I had a whole New York trip yesterday.
I saw that. You woke me up out of bed and was like, dude, look at this
1
crust.
o'clock. The crust was
It was not 1 o'clock. First off, I want to explain, it was not 1 o'clock. It was like at most 10. Okay.
Wait, pause. Why would I be eating a full New York strip at 10 o'clock?
Steak and eggs? Are you kidding me? That is the greatest breakfast ever.
That is fair.
Yeah, steak and eggs.
It was like 12.
It was not till 12. I was not in bed till 12
I
o'clock.
don't know who I trust here.
Me eating a steak at 10 is just so rancid.
Rancid?
Just like so
Oh,
weird.
I've done that before.
My favorite thing ever is if I'm
Okay,
cooking steak,
okay.
having leftovers, and making steak and a half dozen sunny side up eggs.
I'll talk about training.
Okay.
No.
Tuesday.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Tuesday, Dude, like, what is going on right now? Tuesday, so last week I hit 418 for a triple, but Tuesday I hit 408 for like 4 sets of 3, which is like 10 pounds different, and I hit it from multiple sets. So I was pretty bussin'. I had to gas bad. But
bro was shitting all the way up.
it was
Bro, go.
literally, dude. Oh, my pelvic floor. But and then I hit a bench PR as well, which it's like banded bench. So I hate calling these things PRs, but
it's still a personal.
I'd hit 5 sets around like 198, 208 for 3 with like 2 red bands, and the last set moved horribly, and I was like, you know what, load the yellow, and so I just put 220 on there and I hit it, and it like moved like my other sets, which was not horrible. So that was cool. Bench has been going well. I texted it to Becky and she just goes, what? I suck at bench, but it's actually getting better for legitimacy now. So yeah.
I want you to bench 3 so bad.
Oh man, that's gonna be the greatest day ever. My today's my conjugate day, as I like to call it. I have SSB squats and the football bar because it kind of takes stress away from my shoulder. So it's my conjugate day.
Oh, are you training at MBB?
I might.
You should come.
Where else are you
Are you
gonna
gonna
train?
And
I don't train today. I'll see. Maybe I'll make an appearance.
I wouldn't be there for a minute.
I mean, I'm not gonna be there for a while. I gotta eat again.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna pack. And
I did
yeah.
pack. Oh.
Yeah. So my car broke down. And I don't know if my cars are working anymore. So I'm nervous about that.
I'll drive you around, sweetie. I got you.
I got a pimpin' Suburban, the shaggin' wagon.
My passenger
The
princess.
shaggin' wagon.
My passenger princess
I'm
on
gonna
my
get you a
side.
sticker.
This is
Do not
Shaggy.
disturb the shaggin' wagon.
Disturb the Shaggy wagon.
All right, Matthew, what did you want to talk about today?
Isn't Journey's out training?
Oh,
Yeah, maybe if I don't get ignored, I'll drive you around places.
did you hear something?
No.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
Drew, continue.
Well, it's okay. I think the only thing I've done is yesterday's went back to Elite Iron and trained with my coach for the first time in a while, which I need to do more often because I realized how
Shout out, James.
horrible everything I do now is.
Did
Cause,
he attack your deadlift stance?
oh, dude, it's
I knew.
immediately.
Well, I saw you set up the other week, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like,
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just been like the things I noticed is like obviously my stance isn't great. I'm not seeing back far enough, but
shoulders back.
yeah, but I mean, it's so weird because like I'll see someone experience like I feel like I know a good bit. I'll sit there and I'll watch. I'm like, okay, I see everything I'm doing wrong, and then because like I'll have to go through my videos and go frame by frame, like, all right, how can I fix this and do this, and he'll know instantaneously and explain every aspect to why. Like that's the like having the in person. Like I really need to start making that regular because it's every aspect he's able to explain and say, yeah, this is why you're doing this and what's wrong, and don't listen to social media. That's the first thing he says every time if I'm doing something wrong. He's like, everybody at your gym sucks and they're following the social media thing. Not like, yeah, but they're the social media.
Well, my coach is his client, so
not making you two. I'm trying to make the
yeah.
Y'all get what I'm saying, but
Well, I coached his athlete to a 9-to-9 day, so
his athlete to a 9-to-9.
Austin.
Oh yeah,
I'm still waiting on a thank you card.
yeah. You ain't getting one from James. Anyways, but yeah, that was super fun. Kind of had a crappy deadlift day yesterday, though, but it is what it is. Moved to bench press. Literally had 308 for singles yesterday. I think I have heavy squat and bench press tomorrow, though, and I'm going back for that. So that'll be interesting. It'll be
That's
fun.
like the prodigal son coming home.
What?
Whenever I come
Anyone
home,
know
it's
the
like
story of the prodigal son in the
No.
Bible?
Yeah.
Do you know the story? Oh, the like son who leaves his dad and goes and like loses all of his. He spends all of his inheritance, whatever. He comes back.
Oh, yeah, I remember learning
His
about
dad's like, he's like, I'll eat with the pigs. His dad's like, no, like the prodigal son's coming home. I throw a party. Anyway, I've read a book about it called The Prodigal God. Great book. But anyway, also a great story in the Bible. All that to say, it's like the prodigal son when Drew comes home to EI. It's like, my son, you haven't returned.
Dude, they have
Did
some
you train with
party
your
in
dad
it.
yesterday?
No, he trains on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Who trains twice a week?
Well, no, he does Saturday,
Oh.
Sunday, but
you just
yeah, I know.
said
I was
Because
like,
like
what?
every
Crazy.
single person at like EI, it's their entire schedule based off the 2 days. Everybody's like 4 days a week, and you're Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, or you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and that's like the only two like scenarios.
unless you're Jason and you go at midnight or 1
I
a.m.
don't know what Jason does. Jason, you're an idiot. I see him there he's not done at 2:30 in the morning. Like
Who's Jason?
King Kilo Monger.
I'm not-
If you see a picture, you'll remember. I guess you haven't seen him.
He was in the States, but he was more like, I feel like he hasn't been as big in the scene this year
I was seeing him
in
lately.
a while. Yeah.
He randomly pops up. Super
Oh,
nice guy,
okay.
but he's an idiot.
Here's the totally planned topic for today.
Yes.
How to deal with ups and downs in training. good.
I have plenty of downs right now.
That's good,
I'll
right?
gladly.
Yeah. I mean, the only time, I mean, I've obviously hit a few like plateaus here and there, nothing like super long because I'm still really new. But when I injured my like left pec a little bit, remember when we were training at Trueborn and I missed that board press with
Yeah.
385?
Well, I wonder
I
why.
re-racked it and missed it, and it fell down, and it definitely strained my upper left pec, and that's when my bench press was just like
Yeah.
tanking. And like I'm like bench press is like my thing. So I was
Yeah.
like failing like 350 for sets of like 2. And I was like, what is happening? But it was just like a little bump or whatever. But I don't have
Yeah.
that much experience in like the big ups and downs because I've been blessed that I'm still new to it, so it doesn't happen as much. But
Well, even is there ups and downs in bodybuilding?
yeah, that is where I've hit more plateaus, I think. Because
Is that like more mental or physical
Yeah, you
up and
don't
downs?
see.
Especially natural
Changes?
bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't see changes, and realistically, like for a natural bodybuilder, putting on like 2 to 5 at most, if you're bulking like perfectly, amount of lean muscle tissue a year is like pretty standard for like the
Yeah.
first like 4 to 5 years, and then after that, it's like it can be as low as like 1 to 3, like
Yeah.
pounds of lean muscle tissue that's gonna stay on.
A
So
year?
like.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
when
being
you're-
natural is actually the worst thing.
I mean, when you're a 220, 230 pound individual, putting on like 6 pounds or like 5 pounds of lean muscle tissue in a whole year, like you're not gonna really even be able to see that very much. Like you can see small changes here and there, but like for that was a lot more mentally draining because with powerlifting, like bodybuilding, there's no like ups and downs to it really you're just always kind of progressing, but it's just super slow. Powerlifting, like you have your deloads, you have your stuff, so it's more up and down. So with bodybuilding it's more difficult because it's not like in powerlifting it's like, okay, let's take a deload, let's decompress, let's figure this out. With bodybuilding it's just like you still got to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can take an extra rest day and your body be able to recover a little more, but that doesn't mean you're gonna just grow muscle tissue from doing that.
right.
So I would say that was more mentally draining than powerlifting was. But also I've not been powerlifting as long as I did bodybuilding stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be different. I may have a different opinion in 2 or 3 years, but
Right.
for right now, that's where I stand with that for sure.
I got you. Okay, I will go.
Well, you're the most experienced person here.
Oh, I mean, like
You've had more opportunities to go through ups and
to
downs.
fail.
Well, if you boil it down to that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like lots of ups and downs. Like the way to handle the ups, I mean, be happy, I guess. I mean, there's not much to say about big ups. Don't be stupid and don't try and go overboard after reaching too fast. Like, still be smart in the way you're training and stuff. Like, obviously, follow what you're being told to do. But if you're being stupid and you're like, oh, everything's going great and PRs every week, I should go all out again and see what happens.
Hey.
No, let me say that is not smart.
Just kidding.
No, but I mean, like ups, it's more of a just don't be stupid thing, in my opinion. It's a follow. If you have a coach, they know what they're doing. There's a reason you're
That you
their
hired.
coach. There's a reason you hired them, they know what they're doing, and obviously, like, yeah, you feel great PR, like, let's say you're testing stuff and doing absolutely fantastic, and you're like, oh, I want to do even more, but that's when he's got you planned to do like a deload and then come back for another single and stuff. Just listen, because if I've had those where I'm like, nah, I want to go again, but ends up if I tell him that and do it, you can tell immediately once you start pushing it, like, oh, this was a mistake. It's just one of those things that's just, don't be stupid, just acknowledge and learn from the coach or whoever you're with, whatever you're doing. Don't be stupid. Do research on everything you can to set yourself up to be good and not be stupid and get injured. Downs, plenty of scenarios where I've had. The biggest one was injuring my back, of course, where I was out for like, I think it was like 10 months ish, 8 months, which absolutely miserable, mentally draining, and just horrible. I mean, but the best thing to do on downs, even outside of that, like this week, the past few weeks, was I failed a 501 squat, 507 squat the other day, which I've tripled that before, and that was just one of the most just pissed off, mentally draining things ever. Deadlift yesterday was a crap fest, and I sat down with like my dad and stuff, got home last night, and we kind of talked because he had a kind of similar situation, and most time it sounds weird, but it's like this is just how it is. Like 2 weeks out from the meet, this stuff happens, and normally when it happens, that means you're about to have a good meet. Like, as weird as it sounds, it's one of those things like, all right, this normally happens about 2 weeks out from every meet, and normally when that happens, we have an insane, like, crazy good feeling meet. And so contract kick that in is in the yeah, this sucks. I've failed like a bunch of times, and I feel like I should be doing more, especially for the time being, since like actual like hitting a past PR on that, being down like that. It's just trying to play the mental game of, all right, how do I move on from this? How do I get it done? Like, I noticed from yesterday's deadlift, I'm like, my entire right side of my back has so many knots and is so tight right now. Left side is still pretty tight, but my right side, I can feel the knot the size of a golf ball inside of my shoulder blade. And what's called squat the other day, y'all even pointed it out, like my bar was slanted completely.
It's terrible.
Yeah, like it's bad, and like it's been super tight the past few, probably the past week and a half. It's been like, this is like the tightest it's been in a very, very long time, which is weird. But all right, I need to do everything I can now, get this knot out and stuff, and get more mobility in like my lats and stuff. Because deadlift, I was noticing it, and like I was talking to Dale McLaren, who's a guy that goes to my gym that has competed in worlds for several years, and he's like, hey, you can tell just by the way you're saying up is your whole back and traps are so tight, you're not able to actually cease and pull your back together, and that's why your shoulders are getting ahead of you on the deadlift. And just kind of like, he's one of those, he takes an hour before he starts like warming up, because he grabs a barbell, he rolls out his quads, he digs into his traps.
Pause. Barbell soft tissue work is incredibly painful, but what it will do for your body
Insane.
is insane. I remember you guys were laughing at me doing it last year before yoga, but I spent like about 30 minutes just like putting it on my tibs, my shoulders, and just like having weight rest, because it's a 45-pound bar. I mean, it is such good
And such
mobility.
fine-pointed.
Right.
It's insane.
All right, sorry, resume.
No, you're good. But like, and oh, excuse me.
You excuse
Yeah, thank you. But I mean, like, yeah, after yesterday and kind of going through that, I'm like, all right, like, at first just kind of tried to like wiggle out of it, kind of like muscle, like try and like get mobility in my shoulders and cracking it and stuff, and try and move back and forth. But ended up taking a lot of extra time, like trying to roll out and just digging a lacrosse ball in my back to get these knots out. Because I mean, it's genuinely like super tight, and I could feel my lower right back down to my hamstring, another little like almost like pinched nerve running down. And 2 weeks out, that's not really a fun thing to think of. especially when you approach like heavy deadlifts, because yesterday it was just 100% mental. Was it? I failed like 550 off the floor like twice, then I came back and made it look like RPE 5, and then I failed like 573, then went back to like 584 off of like a 2-inch block, and it moved like a RPE 2. Just mentally, it's just this. Trying to think the best way to put it, like mentally overcoming the stupidness of like, regardless of how your body feels on like meet day, obviously be smart and listen to your body, but like at the end of the day, it's a, you can't just be sitting mentally in your head of, oh, I can feel something in my back, I'm done for the day. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to go 100%. And that's what I could feel yesterday, because I mean 550, that's not even 90% of my max and what I've hit. And like the math science is 90%. It's like an opener. You should hit it on your worst days. It's a, no matter how you feel, that you should be able to feel. You should be able to be sick. I should be able to roll you out of bed at 2 a.m. and say, yeah, we have to hit this, and you be able to hit it. And I mean, yeah, I mean, just kind of with the downs and stuff. I know I kind of steer topics a little bit there, but the really just focusing like, all right, one mentality to a, all right, how do I fix what could have also been corresponding with that? Like, I know my mentality was off because my body didn't feel great. All right, how do I now fix my body now and to do it? And that's why I like training at EI, just because you have so many knowledgeable people, that people who have done it since the beginning of the sport.
Of time.
Yeah, since the beginning of time, and like have done those 2, 3, 4 decades into the sport. They know and there's a reason they're still able to compete and still as strong as they are, not just compete, but be as strong as they are, and try to work on that.
I also think something that has helped me is really try and be like present in the moment. Try not to like, for me personally, once I started like embracing kind of what I'm actually doing, and even through the ups and downs, like even when I fail a lift, like being present and understanding that like that stuff happens, and like retaining that feeling that I felt then, and using that as getting more comfortable within myself to know how to fail, I guess, and like understanding that that happens, as well as being present in the victories when I hit, you know, PRs or things like that, and being able to like not immediately think of, I got to do better, I got to be more, like all this stuff, and be actually present and know that you're not going to be a world champion overnight. So like, just because you see people hitting, and I got really deep into this of like seeing people hit what I'm like my PRs and more for like a lot of reps. And it was people that I'd be going up against. Like I'd seen that or things like that. Like I'd see Weez do like my max on squat, if not more, for like 5 reps. And I was just like, that's terrible. Like that just, it's like, so I wasn't being in the moment to something that like, it's not that deep for me. Like I love powerlifting, but I don't love it like you do. Like it's so much fun and I enjoy it, but like I don't see myself doing this my whole life, like at all. So
That's
like,
so depressing to hear.
yeah, but like I don't,
even though I get it 100%,
yeah,
like you said ago, and I
yeah,
was
but like
oh.
so that's even more important for me to live in the moment now and like have these memories, because I think like failing a lift even can carry over into like real life, or like those victories even in real life. So like being more present just in life in general, especially in the gym, has helped me out a lot with victories and failures, and kind of seeing those through and understanding that those things happen. And like, so then when it happens again, because you're always going to fail. There's not one person that's good at anything that's never failed a lift, like that's just not a thing. So like being comfortable with it and knowing that like sometimes you have bad days, sometimes your mental's not there, sometimes that stuff happens, and being able to push through that and still work and still put in time and not let that destroy everything. I think that shows a lot of mental fortitude, and it helps in other aspects of life too.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've learned just by going to the gym. Because like in the whole even bodybuilding thing, like sometimes I'd do like the 100-pound dumbbells on incline press or flat bench for like a set of like 6 or 8.
Yeah.
And then the next week it's like 85s were like not moving. And I
No
was
fun.
just like, and like it's different, but I'm trying to compare
know
it
what
to
you're saying.
powerlifting. But like, or the weight, like I'd weigh 220 pounds, and the next week I'd be weighing at like 216. And I was just like, that's like muscle tissue just deteriorating when it's not the case. But like, it's just stuff like that. Like, learn from your failures and know that you do have control over a lot, but you don't have control over everything. And sometimes things just don't move right. And that means you carry on, you remember it, don't forget about it, but also don't let it sit with you in a bad, negative aspect, and just kind of embrace it. That's what I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What?
Yeah.
You just started looking at me, and so I got scared. Yeah, I agree. I guess it's my turn to talk about ups and downs. I am the most.
All right, that wraps up the podcast for today. I'm just kidding.
We'll catch y'all next
Did
week.
you hear something, Drew?
Oh, don't even try to pull that.
No. Oh, yeah. Just were you texting someone? Something
I was
else
texting you.
No, but I'm probably like the most mental person ever. Not actually, but I mean, at least like when I was younger and at least starting this
Read my
sport.
mind right now.
Taco Cat spelled backwards is Taco Cat. That's what he was thinking, trust me. So I definitely come from a place of where I've lived in my head for like everything I do.
Mhm.
You know, growing up playing soccer, growing up, skateboarding, or really whatever sport it was, activity, I've like been in my head about it, and I'm like observing what I'm doing while I'm doing it, which has many like positives and negatives, but at least coming into this like fitness world, it's definitely been something I've had to learn to control. You know, like when I started and it was, I guess it's a lot of like expectations versus reality, right? And so I started and I weighed 160 pounds. I gained 10 pounds. I got to 170, and I'm like, okay, I still don't like how I look. I don't have abs yet, right? And so then there was that ups and downs of some days I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I look amazing. Like, let me take a bunch of photos, or like, let me go flex in the mirror. And then other days I'd wake up and I'm like, I literally hate how I look.
Mhm.
And, I think the difference is I still do that now, but it's how far do I dive into that? How far do I let those thoughts resonate?
And let it control you.
Right. So like there's times when like, I would not do stuff, and like there's so many times I wouldn't go to the pool, or I wouldn't go swimming, or really any type of water activity because I had to take my shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like 2 years out from that now, and I look back at photos, I'm like, Matthew, you literally looked great. Like I don't know why I was so, but
You look great
because
now.
thank you. I was living in my head so much. As it comes to powerlifting, man, I remember when I started this sport, I feel like at least, if I'm being honest, I've had downs up until now in this sport of powerlifting. I've had some small victories, but like I started, right, switched to low bar, switched to sumo, everything hurt. I probably had about 3 months of adductor pain to where like I couldn't sit in class, I couldn't walk very well, and it was like, I remember week 8 of my first prep. Someone told me week 8's the hardest. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really find it is anymore,
It's
but
up there.
it sucks. Like your body is getting beat up, and I just felt horrible. And I literally, before I made it to my first meet, wanted to quit powerlifting like 4 times. I was like, I would just rather do longevity or general performance training because like I hate how I feel so much. But I pushed through and I made it. And definitely one of the first ups I ever had was that first powerlifting meet. Even though I left stuff on the table, I didn't have the perfect meet, didn't even total 1,000 pounds, I still was so proud of the fact that I made it to my first meet and I didn't quit. And then my second prep came and I'd gotten, heavier, 180 now. Didn't love the way I looked, and it was definitely a mental strain there. I still couldn't bench 225, like all these things, and it was just this up and down. And my second meet came, I went 5 for 9, did horribly, and I acted like a big baby. I remember I missed my first squat to the rack command, and I'll be honest, if you look at the video, it was not a miss. I'm a ref now, like, and again, not that I'm like stuck over the fact, but it's like,
his ref license to say that.
yeah, I am. But like he said, rack I walk, but I remember my reaction was so bad. I threw my belt across the warm-up room. I was so pissed. I was like, how could this happen? I've trained so hard, and that was because I let that control me, and it dictated my meet, and I had a horrible meet. I went 5 for 9. I missed my second squat, some weight I'd hit before, but it's because I was so in my head. I hit my third, thank God. I didn't
Oh, I was about to
bomb
say,
out.
did you bomb out?
No.
Oh.
Hit my third. I'll give it to Austin Brown, slapping the life out of me. But I missed my third bench and I missed my third deadlift that meet. So no PRs were set. And then training again is like I gained another 10 pounds. I got up to 195. That was horrible for my self-esteem, horrible for my mental. I wasn't even doing like compound lifts. I was doing like unilateral training. I was doing strongman training, and like I didn't even feel like I was a powerlifter anymore.
Bro was a strong man.
And so that was like a huge just down. I had to live in that.
Did you ever weigh over 200?
No,
Did you ever see 200 on the
I've
scale?
never seen 200.
It's cooler.
What a shame.
I've gotten to
200
I've gotten to
cool.
198.
What a shame.
Should have committed.
I know.
What a shame.
I'll
You
get
should've
there
just
one day.
chugged a bunch of water and been like, I weighed 200 once.
I think I've been over 200.
Back in
but
my
I've never seen
prime.
it. And then my last meet, I dropped 15 pounds. Felt a little bit better about myself, but like things still didn't go perfect. But the difference was when I failed the third squat, I was like, okay, I failed. It's whatever.
It happens.
I hit
Continue.
12 pounds more than Sunday before. That sucks, but like I'm not gonna let this dictate my meet. And then I still had a great meet, 7 for 9. And so like in all of that, and even now, it's like my training is for the first time to a place where I'm like, holy crap, I don't recognize what's happening. Maybe it's my variables. Maybe I've, things in life have gotten better. I think there's a lot of
Pressures.
things, pressures have changed. But I also think like getting to the point where like, I'm just here for the process. I'm not looking for, bro has to go save Gotham City right now. But I think dealing with those ups and downs is a lot of it is just learning to be like, the hard times will come. The good times will come. You have to be thankful for the good times and you have to be thankful for the hard times, but you have to make it through. And I think like one thing that's been the biggest change is I have a community that I'm training with now.
Are we a part of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Pressure is a privilege.
Right.
Pressure is pretty.
Having the ability to conquer, having the ability to have people in your corner. Like when I was first training alone, like you were there a little bit, but we weren't really as close as we are now.
We're
Just
real
like,
close now.
I mean, just training alone in a rec center, like that sucked,
Yeah.
And then like just training by myself most of the time isn't that fun. But having people that like are literally cheering for you and doing that has helped with the process so much. Also, like in terms of like body dysmorphia, we played a game once with the team. It's called Paranoia. So the game is like, someone asks a question, you say that person's name out loud, you flip a coin to decide if you say the question out loud. And one of them was like, who has the worst body dysmorphia? And they said me. And I was like, damn, that sucks, but it was true. But like, dude, this is just so strange. But living with people and like seeing people who are like in shape, but every day seeing that like the camera is a lie is like, not everyone looks 6-pack physique, stage ready every day, makes you feel so much better.
Yeah.
And it's
My
like,
pictures on Instagram, I don't look like that.
I mean, you still look amazing.
But not like that.
But I'm just like,
with a good camera and
Yeah.
good lighting does so much.
and it's crazy because it's like living with these people and just doing life with them. It's like, oh, wait, we're all just normal people,
Yeah.
And then it's like, makes you feel, I don't know, it makes you feel so better. So if you feel bad about yourself, just go be around people
It's
who
a
are
lie.
shredded when they're not pumped, and you'll feel a lot better. I was watching,
Except Chase.
Yeah, Chase, you're
I was
an
watching one of
exception. Chase is an exception to that rule.
I was watching a YouTuber I liked, and I saw he had like love handles, and I was like, whoa. That was the day I gave up body dysmorphia.
You know something interesting? I was at the Olympia last year and I saw Jesse James West. And dude is known for like his physique, like a natural obtainable physique or whatever. He looked so tiny and so just like, I wouldn't, if I passed him, didn't know who he was, I'd be like, he didn't even go to the gym.
Yeah.
And like, it's super interesting because like his Instagram, obviously he had like thousands of dollars worth of cameras, like lighting equipment, editing skills, all this stuff. So like his pictures are like insane, but he's not, yes, he's really lean, but like walking around in a t-shirt,
You
I
won't
mean, I
notice.
wouldn't even know that he went to the gym.
Yeah.
So like, that's another thing is like seeing these, like some of these famous people that are not like, Ian Valier. He is different.
Did you guys ever
like,
see Bigger, Stronger, Faster?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No.
No. Well, Mark Bell's brother made it, and it was about like steroids when they started getting rampant and stuff like that. But it was funny because the brother, who was not in great shape at the time, did a photo shoot, and then it went from him, hair on his shoulders, they shave him, gloss him up, have cameras in the angles, and you can't, and they do a little bit of Photoshop, you can't tell it's the same person.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is what we're so accustomed to.
It's crazy.
And what
it's so
sucks is like,
exaggerated.
we all know it, but we all fall victim to it.
Yeah.
And that's when you feel like, I don't want to say you feel like an idiot, but you're like, I know this is fake, but it's still messing with my psyche.
But the only thing is always the same is strength stuff, because 800 pounds is always 800 pounds.
That's why I love strength
But
sports.
that's also bad because you can't even give yourself that excuse.
That's
It's
why
just like,
powerlifting's superior to
these
bodybuilding.
people are just stronger.
Well,
just
but
a lot stronger.
it's also like,
Now,
one
yes,
thing
some
I
are running
have to
gear and
remind
stuff like that,
myself
but,
of like is also time, dude.
yeah.
Like
How old is Jamal? He's in his 30s, right?
no, he's in his late 20s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also like
My bad. He looks like he's
when I have to think about lifting.
Battery.
Battery died.
Okay.
And
Well, we'll wrap this up. It's okay.
when I do think about lifting and stuff, it's like I see someone who's my weight, my age. I'm like, that guy has been training since he was like 14. I weighed 200 pounds and didn't get off my gaming chair when I was 14.
Yeah.
Like for how new I am in the sport, I'm like, for myself, I'm doing a
great.
great job.
Yeah.
Thanks. But it's like, I can't compare myself to someone who's been in the gym for 8+ years, 7 years, and say, I should be just as strong as them. Or
Yes,
if I
you
see
should.
someone who is on gear, I can't compare myself
How
to
about being
someone.
on both?
Yeah.
No one's stopping you from doing that.
I'm all for it, dude. My mom said no.
No one is stopping
Your
you
mom
from
would have said no
running
to the mullet, and here we are.
She did not like it certified. I'm shocked she didn't know because we talked about it on the pod, which means she's fake and hasn't been listening. Kind of broke my heart there, Mom. But she walked in and was
Fake.
like,
Damn,
fan.
Mama Albazadi, what really?
she looked at me and she's like, what happened? And I was like,
A lot
wow.
of shit
Don't get me
happened.
don't get me
I
started.
can tell you a
Mom.
lot of stuff happened here. But I thought it looked good. She's
mullet.
been the only negative. Her and Corinne doesn't like it.
We have little
okay,
Corinne's.
well,
but exactly.
Corinne is
Not
not
valid.
valid.
Exactly. I'm like, you're literally
Corinne's opinion on a
bugging.
mullet does not count.
Right.
That's fair.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yours does.
Because I've had one.
Is that a good...
Hell yeah.
Never mind. My
Dude,
bad.
it's so valid. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Camera died. Pretty good, little short one.
Matthew's got skedaddle soon.
Yeah, Matthew has to run. We all have errands to do. I have a bench PR. Wish me luck.
I have a
Pray for me.
haircut to get.
Drew has a haircut. So thank y'all for watching. We're posting in the mornings now, Wednesdays and Saturdays. This will be up on Saturday. We love y'all. If y'all have any recommendations for
Well,
energy
if they're
drink.
watching this on Sunday, it'll be Sunday.
Oh, and if you're watching on Monday, it'll actually be on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, so follow us 2 to 5 podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, all those. Follow me, Noah Ray Lifts.
Alb 82.5.
The Berserker.
Follow us on our social medias. Keep up with what we're doing. And yeah, we love you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
I snapped.